bullied for a full year, and it turned me into a fucking. If somebody tried to bully me, I'll show up at your fucking house and kill you. That's what happens. I get so angry.
I'm not buying that even remotely.
I hate when.
Hey,
That's
bro,
not true.
You fucking bully me.
If I
you try bullying me right now, motherfucker.
You know what your problem is?
Hold on, let me handle this.
Joe called out Cullen for his tough guy attitude that was clearly a facade, and noted that it wasn't their fault that he let people talk to him for so long a certain way.
He goes,
I would fuck this guy
I fucking wish a demon would grab me, man. You know what I would do? And I'm like,
I get mad.
Why are you talking to me like
this? It's not
this?
that you get mad. It's that you hang around with people for a long time. You hung around with people that allowed you to talk like that.
No.
But it is a choice, right? I mean, if you're choosing to add hormones to a child's body, that's a choice.
It's a choice
blockers.
it's a choice on the part of the parent. It's not a choice on the part of the child to in the same way that being
Right now, the rights of transgender people are more at risk than ever before. Certain laws are being put into place like Texas and Florida to make it so that just existing is hard in the literal sense. It's rather sickening. Joe Rogan brought on comedian and TV host Adam Conover to discuss the issue of transgender people once, and Adam made his thoughts clear when he noted
the experience of being trans and not receiving hormones, right, and not having the body that you identify with. The feeling of dysphoria, right, is extremely painful and is a condition unto itself, right?
But Joe was very quick to point out issues with that philosophy.
The best treatment for that we know exists is to do gender confirmation via hormones. And
you know that doesn't affect the suicide rate. The suicide rate for trans people is very high, post-op and pre-op. Really doesn't get affected by whether or not you treat them.
Well, the operation,
the question could be
is
why is that? Is that because they're not accepted by society and we're not more loving?
This fear is even more prevalent now. And so those who are out there trying to fix transgender people should hear Rogan's words and back off.
Show me something good, because this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. That guy's running into him. See, this is the thing with all these goddamn demonstrations. That guy's willingly cooperating.
Well, yeah, I mean,
look at that.
He's practicing the technique. And practicing the technique, you either cooperate or your arm breaks.
Well, this isn't even cooperating. This guy's throwing himself on the ground. This is silly. The guy's just standing there. This would never work against a trained fighter. Never. Not in a million years. You get an NCAA Division I wrestler, he's going to shoot on this guy, and this guy's going to be on his head in seconds. It just doesn't work.
Then said someone else gave him burnt food, and then bugs were crawling over his hands, and then he just wrote "no fun." If you knew he was on suicide watch, you wouldn't give him a ballpoint pen that he could kill himself with.
Jamie, you should be a goddamn detective.
Well, this
for
is what
CSI.
they're saying. And he had his sleep apnea machine was in there. You could see an extension cord coming from the hallway into his room. That he could have just used that to kill himself and hang himself.
Or the
way
9
easier.
jumpsuits. Why does he have 9 jumpsuits?
Yeah, the jumpsuit thing is freaky. They're trying to explain it by bringing in some new witness.
Turned podcast host, and he's also a Cuban American. Because of how he was raised and where he was raised, he finds himself in a tricky position in terms of how he talks and the words he uses.
Okay, and I'm sorry.
No.
This is just so you know.
You shouldn't be sorry. You're not.
This is just so you know. You know what I put on yesterday? And this is it. This is it, because it's time.
What?
We're not taking it no more. I'm not taking it no more. I put on an album, and again, I'm very sorry if I offend somebody. I didn't name it this. He did. So take your fucking problem up with him. Name of the album is Bicentennial.
Joe understood his position and didn't push it too far. And it is a very unique issue because times have changed and the words we say have meaning. Don't they, Joe?
You're assuming that nothing's changed and everything's static, and while you were asleep for 8 hours, nothing weird happened. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You have no idea. You're dreaming. You're having crazy fantasies and shit. Weird stuff is happening. You're fucking mermaids. You're flying through the air on a helicopter. Weird things happen when you're dreaming. What is all that about? Yeah. We don't even know. We have no idea what that is. That soup of possibilities that's fucking swirling around in between your ears while you're snoring up a storm, and then boom, you wake up. Are you sure those memories are real? Are you sure that this isn't a whole completely new universe you're living in today?
Or assimilation.
So I am known as this male feminist, which again, and it kind of becomes my thing. So I go on your show.
That part was ignored conveniently.
The whole part where he's just like, what's funny about it? And
Right.
that's a good, technically, that's an anti-rape joke, right?
Exactly. Which, if you know Daniel, that's how he thinks. I mean,
Right.
he's not a bad guy in
No,
any sense of the word.
and that's a great way, but that has to do with these echo chambers where I'm like, well, I didn't fucking hear that part of it.
It could be lyrics to a rap song. It could be a positive affirmation. It's a very unusual word, but it's not my word to use. I'm well aware of that now. And there's another clip that I have to address. There's a clip from 11 years ago.
Sadly, he hasn't apologized for many of the other things he's done, like talking lies about the COVID vaccine, but we'll take what we can get.
And I was trying to make the story entertaining, and I said, we got out, and it was like we were in Africa. It's like we were in Planet of the Apes. I did not, nor would I ever say that black people are apes, but it sure fucking sounded like that.
And there you have it, everyone. A look at Joe Rogan and the times where he's gotten up in arms during his podcast. Which of these moments do you remember happening the first time? Which ones do you applaud Joe for having key thoughts about? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.